What do we have next? On the Spot. Take a first look at All-Pro Football 2K8 with a surprise visit from 2K Sports. Also, Sierra Entertainment shoots through with Geometry Wars Galaxies, and THQ is here with Stuntman Ignition. Plus, we shoot up Stranglehold and play The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass and Folklore. Oh hey, then there's this new trailer for Grand Theft Auto 4. We're live and on the spot. Oh hey, hello everybody, and welcome to On the Spot, GameSpot's live show. We do every Thursday, play a whole bunch of games you haven't seen before, and have a great time. I'm one of your hosts, Rich Gallup. Hey, Jeff Gerstmann.
I'm already having a great time.
Are you?
For like hours now.
Because you've just been watching that Grand Theft Auto 4 trailer over and over and over
In my
again.
office, door shut, lights out, no pants.
Full
It's been
screen.
awesome.
It's been awesome, and we have an awesome show for you today. Our preparation for E3 2007 continues with the fancy E3 setup.
Yeah, it's like the angle. I'm looking at you different.
Hi, how are you?
It's weird over here.
What's up?
Hey.
Welcome. How you doing?
I'll give you these really good profile shots.
Yeah, we're thinking
E3 is all about
things.
the sides of faces.
Yes, and it's all about Ryan Davis telling us what kind of great show we have today. Hello, Ryan Davis. What is up on today's show, sir?
We have an amazing show for you today, Rich.
Yeah?
We have a ton of guests in the house today.
I don't care. I'm going to tell you about it anyways.
All right, you tell me about it,
All
sir.
right, we're All-Pro Football 2K8.
Awesome.
All-Pro Football 2K8. Remember how 2K made really great football games?
Yes.
And then the NFL made them stop doing it, more or less?
And then they told the NFL, whatever, we're going to make it anyway. We don't need y'all.
Exactly. I'm so excited about that, I had to cut off Ryan Davis. Ryan Davis, tell us about the rest of the show.
I will gladly tell you about the rest of the show, Rich. We have Folklore for the PlayStation 3, fresh from Japan. Justin Calvert's going to give us a look at that. Jeff Gerstmann himself is going to come in double-fisted with Stranglehold for the Xbox 360. That's coming from Midway. We have a Japanese version of the Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. Maybe you've heard of it. Highly anticipated Nintendo DS game. We're going to check that out. THQ is here with Stuntman Ignition. We've got Sierra's in the house. They're going to give us a look at Geometry Wars Galaxies for the Wii. We've also got, as you said earlier, 2K Sports here with All-Pro Football for the Xbox 360. But first, Rich Gallup.
But first, Ryan Davis, Jeff, I understand you brought a clip.
I brought a clip. About 2 clips.
There's a new Grand Theft Auto 4 trailer.
Yeah.
That came out today, and everyone is just as excited, if not more excited, about this game.
Yeah, a lot of talking in this one. A lot of story stuff.
A lot of Rage Engine.
Yeah, a lot of rage.
A lot of Rage
Let's take a
Engine.
look.
Sure.
Let's take a look.
What?
Just run it. Just run it.
Okay, Grand Theft Auto 4 trailer. Check it out.
You're looking for some people.
We're all looking for that special someone. I need to know what happened. Give me that. For 10 years, I've been searching. I did this for you. I guarantee that you will find this man.
Please, no more killing.
Don't do anything stupid, cousin.
We have to find him.
Fine, you got it. You want my word? You got my word.
I'm the one who survived.
Get this done, and we'll talk.
The Grand Theft Auto 4 trailer. Watch it on the GameSpace here on GameSpot after the show, because right now I'm joined by Jeff Thomas and Abe Navarre. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
doing?
Thanks for coming, Abe.
How you doing?
All-Pro Football 2K8. We were just reminiscing. You guys used to make some great football games. On behalf of everyone who's a fan of your franchise, welcome back.
We're back.
we're happy to have you back. I don't even know where to begin with this demo, because it's like a brand new game starting from scratch. Xbox 360 version we're looking at right now. Jeff, get us started.
Yeah, that is true. That's a big part of this. It is a new game. And, we went out and signed 240 of some of the best players to ever play professional
How do you
football.
even do that?
That's crazy. That was one of the biggest undertakings ever, was really to go out there. And, these all had to be individual deals with these guys. And so we worked really hard. The guys at Take-Two put a lot of effort into getting all these guys signed up. And it's not the flunky players. These are, we got Joe Montana, Barry Sanders, Walter Payton, John Elway, the best players to ever play the game. And like I said, over 240 of them. Just incredible. It's incredible to work with these guys. We've spent a lot of time with Jerry Rice and some of the other guys that are in the game, and they're just great guys. They love the sport of football, and they love to be back in the lights and letting the kids play the games.
Awesome. And right now, Abe is on the player select screen.
Yeah.
You guys have a new rating system. There are obviously all these great players. Tell us how you do it.
Sure. You know what? The first thing that starts off when you start the game is there are no preset teams for users to play. You create your team. We have 240 individual players in a team sport. So one of the first challenges was trying to figure out how we were going to make that come together. And so we said we wanted to give the users complete customization of this game, and this is the first part, is designing your roster. Who do you want on your team? Where do you want to put your emphasis? So we took the 240 legends and we broke them down into 3 different tiers. There's a gold tier, silver tier, and bronze tier players. You get to select 2 gold tier players, 3 silver tier players, and then 6 bronze tier players. And when you decide what guys you want on your team, you're making strategic decisions. You're deciding, do I want to put my emphasis into the running game, into the passing game? Where do I want to put this? Some people, they'll choose a goal kicker. The kickers come into play very often in football. And so it's deciding where you want to put your emphasis and then executing on that. So you get in there, you choose your players into the roster, and then you go in and you could auto-select like Gabe's doing here, but then you get in here and you go in and you fill out the rest of your team with your roster. When you get in there, you get to your roster, and you can decide in each of your squads, you can kind of skew the players one way or the other. These guys are generic guys that, besides your legends that you have in a certain position, but you could decide, like for offensive linemen, do you want to have a pass blocking offensive lineman or a run blocking offense? And a lot of that has to do with strategy and what guys you chose in your legend players. And so there's a whole strategy element. Then you get done with your roster and you get on to selecting what your team's going to look like, right? And part of this is our team packages. And our team packages, there's a whole wide variety, over 100 different logo, stadium, uniform packages we make available to you. And you go in there and you select one of our logos, you end up with your team. You could change your city, you could change your team name, whatever you want to do. And then we get into really one of the coolest features of this game, and that's our customization. In this menu, you can just change everything. We give you thousands of combinations of colors, of uniform styles. You can see Abe's changing. You can put stars or stripes, or 1 stripe, 2 stripes, solid panels, no panels. Completely customize your uniform. The shoulders, you can see all different kinds of varieties. Like I said, thousands of combinations. And it doesn't end there. We then allow you to go in and change your logos as well. So you start with a base logo, and you can completely colorize any aspect of the logo. You can decide that you want the snake's eyes different, his teeth are different. I mean, really, it's just it gives a huge wide variety. And then on top of this all, once you're done with the colors that you want in here, you can go in and take all this stuff online. And so what this is really going to create is this whole unique look online. For people who are going to take their team, get online, you're going to see a bunch of different looks and a bunch of different strategies on how you made your roster.
So since there are no set teams, it's not like you go online and every single person is going to play as, say, the Patriots, we would say, in a licensed football game.
Exactly.
Every single team is going to be different.
Exactly. Every matchup's going to be different. You're going to go out there with a defensive heavy team and have problems if you don't have any offense against another guy. There's a whole bunch of strategy, and deciding where you want to put your emphasis is going to be a big part of this game.
Cool. And also, we were seeing beforehand, there's some crazy stadiums. I know we've moved past that part. But,
yeah. One of the parts of each of the team packages is the ability to go in there and look at your stadiums and then choose the stadiums. The stadiums are all based on themes. One of the things that we did was we looked at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You'll see they have a pirate ship in their end zone, and when a touchdown, a home team scores a touchdown, they fire cannons or dancing. Well, we're taking that to a whole new level. We really went in here and took our logos and our designs and our themes of each of these teams and really try to blow that out. So you'll go in here and you'll see teams like, you know, the Firebirds or whatever, where you'll hear the screeching and the wings will move. The whole thing, it really creates a live atmosphere. So you'll see a player celebrating the end zone and at the American Stadium, wherever there'll be fireworks going off behind the Mount Rushmore facade. It's a lot of things like that. It's just really trying to create that atmosphere when it's really excited in a home stadium.
So there's a lot of customization,
Yes.
which is awesome. Shall we see the actual game in motion here?
Let's jump right in. Take
Yes!
a look.
While we're waiting for it to load, another part of all that customization, which I thought was so cool, is the code function. It's like you can have your one dorky friend make uniforms for all of your friends, and then he just sends you a code, enter it, and you have that
Exactly.
uniform for you.
All your logo changes, your uniform changes, all that can be brought into one code, and that code can be shared with your friends, so that can get out and you can see people sharing their looks.
I'm hearing a familiar voice right there as we get into the game.
Dan and Peter are back. Our announcers since our first football game, 2K, they're back in, and we had so much fun with these guys. These guys it's been a 3-year hiatus for these guys, and they came back in the booth excited. We had a lot of fun, no restrictions on what we could say. We just went in there and just had a really great time.
You mentioned no restrictions. Obviously, there was another full game that came out a couple years ago, Blitz the League, that kind of thrived in the getting away from the rules the NFL clamps down on you. We had no idea that the NFL put such restrictions on a licensed game like that. What are you guys doing now that you're free of the NFL?
Yeah, you know, Blitz was a great game. We didn't want to go that approach. We talked about a lot of different things over the last 3 years of designing this game, and what we really want to do is bring real football to the fans. I mean, we've always made simulation sports, always been a big part of what 2K sports are about, and, you know, we want to deliver real football. And now we're not being told we can't have those big hits, we can't have celebrations that you see in real life in professional football, injuries that occur. This is not over-the-top football. This is not blood squirting out of some guy. It doesn't happen in real life. You know,
Right.
it's real football. It's all the parts that make really what happened on the field there in our game.
Cool. And we you guys won the toss. Abe, you chose to receive? Yeah. Nice. And we saw John Elway. Now, obviously, these are all classic all-pro players. Not their current ages, though. How did you pick what age to make all these guys? Just put them all at like 29 or whatever?
Yeah, age really doesn't, we really kind of avoid the whole age thing because we got guys, we have superstars from all different eras of professional football. And so what we did was we talked a little bit about the breaking down of the tiers. So guys played in different eras, but they played at different levels of their game. And so there's players like Johnny Nice who are gold tier players. They were the star at their thing. And what we did was we made all these guys at the height of their game. That's what it was all about. Showing you that, you know, if you are going to put your emphasis into someone like Johnny Nice, he was the star in his career, and we depict that in the game. And you know, one of the things I want to talk a little bit about, we were talking earlier, but about the attributes, and we have these 3 different tiers, but we got rid of with the numbering attributes.
No numbers.
No numbers.
So
No
Barry
0 to
Sanders
100.
isn't a 99.
No armor
and
wrestling your buddy or fighting with him over who should be a 97.
99.3 versus. We just kind of did the
Exactly.
same thing actually with
Really?
our review system, so it's cool.
That is cool. But you know what? You won't get enough by only having 3 groups. That's not enough to depict these guys. And so we went off and we came up with this idea about ability icons. And so these guys get these abilities that allow them to customize, to show the difference. Both John Elway, Dan Marino, these guys are gold tier players, but they played the game completely different. And we're able to go in here with these ability icons and distinguish between these guys. Someone like Elway's got a cannon arm icon. That gives him the ability to throw farther than a Dan Marino will. But Dan's got that quick release and that pocket presence abilities. That's how we give everyone their own personality to allow them to play like they really did in professional football.
Awesome. All right, well, now that we've learned about the players in the game, tell us about the actual gameplay mechanics here. What have you guys done? You've had a lot of time to think about how all the subtle changes you'd like to make.
You know, I think that if I want to talk about one thing, I mean, I'll talk about a couple things, but the one main thing is really talking about is polish. We tried to go in and spend a lot of time on making people more intelligent. We tried to go in there. You'll see our DBs play a lot more accurate than they did. You know, 2K5 was a great game. It was just a lot of fun to play. But this game, is a lot smarter. The DBs don't do stupid decisions. They'll go in there. You'll see them bat the ball. You'll see them make a play on the ball when it's a lot more appropriate. Same with our line play. We got a true pocket happen. You won't see that flat line anymore. You'll see the ends trying to come around the outside of your offensive line. And there's an example right there where they have to make that block. It's it's a lot truer to the game of football, and that's where we spend a lot of time. But we also had some really neat features. One of the great new features in the game is our new reach tackle system. No longer are you stuck in a block or not able to make a tackle if a guy is in front of you. With a flick of the R stick to the left, to the right, or forward, you can do a reach, and you'll see a player reach to the right or the left or out in front of them. And sometimes when you're in open field, you'll even get a horse tackle collar, which is legal in our game, and you'll see them drag them down from the back of the neck, and it creates a lot of fun.
Nice, nice. We are driving to the goal line here.
Yeah, maybe Abe's going to get a touchdown. We'll see.
Ready to take some questions from the audience?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's see what kind of send us your questions, GameSpot users. You see the form right there. Send them in. We'll ask Jeff and Abe some questions. All right, let's see. Our first question is from Sam in Mission, Texas. Wants to know how forgiving is this game for someone who's never played a football game before? Is this one you should just jump right into?
Yeah, I mean, if you've never played our game, there's always a learn. Football, is a complicated game, but we have a huge variety of difficulty levels in the game. You could set the game to rookie, get in here and just have a fun experience. That's what the game. We want it to be pick up and play. We want you to be able to jump in, have a good fun time, and then be able to advance the game to the part of really having to break the game down, really having to look where your legends are on the field. So when you get into those advanced levels, you see a gold corner on your wide receiver, you better be careful. That guy's going to make a play.
Don't just look away.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't even throw to him. Now, obviously, first time in the next gen with your series. How are you guys using the extra space afforded you? Like, obviously, the sidelines look ridiculously full of people.
Yeah, we did a lot of work both on the graphics side. You'll see our uniforms animate, the light bounces off of them. That's a big addition to the overall look of the game. Just a lot of detail in the player models. But you mentioned the sidelines. We have full AI characters on the sidelines. Players on the sideline will come on the field and talk smack to your guys walking back to the huddle. They'll slow you down if you run into them when you're running out of bounds. The coach is a full character. He moves around completely. Same with the chain gang. They're able to get out of the way. All these guys really play into the game and are part of the experience. It's a big part of the game. The sidelines, the whole stadium. Yeah, good job, man. You work on this one? Anyhow,
nice.
Abe's one of the best players, so that doesn't happen often.
Our next question comes from Christopher Castillo in Fresno. He wants to know, is there a standard season mode in this game? And I'm going to expand it into what other kind of modes and options are we going to find in All-Pro?
Yeah, we did. We have a full season mode in the game. We give you the ability, there's multiple schedules in the game, so it's always different. You can get in there, you can play different schedules. When you create your team, you actually bring one of your created teams into the season, and it replaces one of the existing 24 teams that are in our season. We have a 16-game schedule, 24 teams with a playoff and a championship game. And so that gets in there. You have that whole, the whole season with injuries and stats across the season. All that is there, as in all of our previous games. Other modes, online, I mentioned, that's a big part of the game as well. We think, with the new generation of systems out there, a lot of people are experiencing the online side of it with Xbox Live and the Sony online stuff. That experience is going to be completely unique. We did a lot of work there. We have all our tournaments, all our league stuff that's in our 2K with our web components. You can go in and make trades on the web, look at stats, do all that stuff on the web when you're at work or whatever, looking at your league. But another thing that we're introducing this year is our new 2K Sports ticker. So now we got a connection to the real world in the game. So when you're hooked up online, there's a ticker available in all the menus as well as in game. Allows you to show all the real-time stuff going on. We have affiliation with AP, so we get all their sports stories, all their headlines come across on your ticker, all the current scores, schedules, league leaders, fantasy leaders, all that stuff, and it's all accessible through a menu. See, it's almost like going to some of the big sports web pages within the game and reading about all your
So, like, if we were playing this right now and the Celtics just traded for Sean Marion in the NBA draft,
they would come across.
We'd know. I have to wait.
No worries,
I have to wait.
Man. You're informed that you're playing.
I have to wait. All right, so I got to guess. Obviously, you guys are keeping the $20 price point, right? Yeah.
that's tough with the
Yeah,
next gen
yeah,
consoles.
it's
But
good,
you know what? It's a great game, and I think actually one comment I want to talk about is we have a demo coming out in July here that's going to be available on Marketplace and in Sony. So we want everyone to try it, just like we did with 2K5. We had a great price back then. We got a bunch of people to jump in and try our game, and we know there's a lot of people out there. They still play it. I still see it on the forums. We love those guys. They still talk about 2K5, and to see those guys still playing that game and still loving that game is what really drove us to make this game. And get in there, try that demo, check it out. I know you're going to love the game and get out there and check it out.
I feel like our conversation about the game is just getting started. It's not coming out till August, though, right?
Well, end of July.
End
we're
of
sure.
July.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to, maybe bring it by E3 or come back here to the
We will
show,
do that.
you're more than welcome. We can, talk about OJ or something.
Excellent. Yeah, he's there. He's there. Thank you very much for your time.
The game is All Pro Football 2K8 coming to stores end of July, hopefully.
Excellent.
Awesome. Let's toss it over to Ryan Davis. Ryan Davis, what's our next demo?
I'm joined over here by Roger Carpenter from, you're a senior producer at Sierra.
I certainly am.
And Roger, thanks for coming over.
No problem.
Rod, you've brought Geometry Wars Galaxies.
I have, indeed I have.
For the Wii.
Yeah, for the Wii.
Now, first off, I just got to say, we've seen this game before,
Yeah.
as this was a downloadable title, a part of a version of this. An iteration
version.
of this existed as a downloadable game. But now you guys are bringing this out on the Wii, as well as the DS as
correct,
a
yeah.
full packaged retail game.
Correct.
What is it about this game that sets it apart from its predecessor?
Okay, the predecessor was kind of a classic coin-up, infinite gameplay.
Sure.
Brought back some of the old retro gaming that everybody loves.
Yeah.
This game seeks to take some of the essence of that and then bring it into a much, much bigger game.
So
And-
we're talking more structure, more context.
Yeah, a lot more context, a lot more involvement, bringing some new ideas to the game, just so that people can have a level of tactics into the product.
Uh-huh.
And we're also introducing the all-important multiplayer into the product as well.
All right, well, let's jump into the game.
Sure.
Now, one of the things that seems significant that we need to bring up, I think, first off, is you're doing this with a Wii controller. Now, how is that
Correct.
going to work?
Okay, well, basically, it's quite straightforward. So obviously, if you've played the previous version...
Let's get going.
Okay, sure, let's go for it.
let's
So we'll get straight into
show
it.
by doing.
Okay, so the whole beauty of Galaxies is, for Geometry Wars Galaxies, a galaxy full of solar systems. They're represented by these lovely little circles here.
Okay.
You go into, every solar system has lots and lots of planets. Every planet is a battle area. So in proportion, Retro Evolve, the previous product, is one itty-bitty planet
Okay.
in this. So you kind of get some idea of
that's-
how much bigger it is already.
The previous game is a level.
Correct.
Okay.
So, I mean, the biggest principle that we're going to show you, I'll get straight in here and come back and talk about some of the other new stuff.
Okay.
But the control method, this is one of the new levels. This is called Enemy Storm. The control method, as you can see, there's a little sort of laser sight zooming around the character. That's
Yeah,
the
it's
direction
the little-
of fire.
the little
Do
red
that with
line
the
there.
remote, yeah. And the other stuff is with the analog stick over here.
So you just move around with the
Yeah,
analog
correct.
stick on the nunchuck, and then you're pointing by literally pointing with the remote.
Correct.
Now,
Now,
what are these crazy giant shapes you have here?
well, these are some of the new stuff that you're going to see in Geometry Wars Galaxies. So there was a little chap beaving around me.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's called a battle drone. Oh, there we go. Talking and
Bad
playing this
start,
game.
Raj.
Yeah, I know, man. So he's your new friend in the game, called a battle drone.
Okay.
You're supposed to love and cherish him, as you should with all battle drones. Every time one of the enemies dies, there's it leaves a life force behind called a geome.
Okay.
That's a brand new currency system introduced into Geometry Wars for Galaxies. And that you're supposed to collect these things up. So the drone at the moment has got a particular behavior, which is a collect behavior. The idea is the drone is adaptable for the battles, and you're supposed to choose a particular behavior to go into a battle. The more GMs you collect, the more upgrades you can buy for the drone, which means you can do some cool and funky stuff with the drone.
Such as?
Well, there's different behaviors.
Okay.
The one you're seeing at the moment is collect. You're going to see two other behaviors, defend and attack.
Okay.
On top of that, all the funky new weapons in the game that we're introducing are to do with all applied to the drone. The ship stays classic. Oh, okay. Hey. So I mean, the idea is very, very same as as all the previous editions. Shoot and fire, get on with it. So the excitement, the drone at the moment is just particularly useful, just collecting these guys.
Now, do these now? The original or the
Retro Evolved.
Retro Evolved.
Yeah.
That was very much. It was you just played until you were done.
It's a classic arcade
like,
game.
do these levels end? Is it like are you trying to reach a certain score level?
Every battle is infinite, just like Retro Evolved. So we have tons and tons of leaderboards for you to play with.
Okay.
Using the Nintendo Wi-Fi system. That's on Wii and DS.
So there will be online leaderboards for both versions.
Correct.
Okay.
But we also have breakpoints within the game. For want of a better description, it's bronze, silver, gold. These give you an opportunity to break out of the product and move on to another battle if you so wish. We want everybody to experience every single battle, so it's not a huge mountain to climb. We're very aware that Geometry Wars works on various levels. It can work on people having a load of fun and not being very good at the game, and people having a load of fun and being very good at the game.
Exactly.
So, we want both ends of the spectrum, and we're planning to deliver that.
Let's
move on to the next one. Yeah.
Another one of these battles. See what's
sure.
Obviously, the gist of that one was that there was the giant shape we were going
Correct.
after. I saw another one that we were looking at from another angle, and there was earlier I saw
We'll get to that one. We'll do this one next.
Okay. Whichever one you want to do, sir.
So
It's your demo.
one of the first things you saw in that one is the grid's been changed to a square. This is back to the classic rectangle.
Right.
Changing the grid makes a massive difference to how things feel.
I have to imagine.
It was, well, you can play it later if you like. This level introduces some new enemies and a new and quite large-scale mayhem. You see, there's one of the new enemies. He's got a mutator. Hopefully I can
There
get
looks like
close.
something wrong with him.
Yeah, he's very wrong. He's an enemy. There he goes. He's mutated something and killed me. There you go. So there's there's another new enemy introduced into this level. Hopefully he'll make an appearance soon, called the Generator, who kind of looks like a gravity well, but instead of sitting there as a gravity well, he spews out loads and loads of enemies, which is
It's kind of like the opposite of a gravity well.
correct.
Oh, there he's.
So what we tried hard in some of the new battles that we're delivering is to introduce the existing enemies in kind of new ways. So you'll see some very large spawns happening. And the main reason for that is the mutator kind of likes large spawns because he likes to mutate large amounts of enemies. I'll let one do stuff. But things get kind of manic, just as you would expect. There we go, there's a Generator.
That seems like something you want to nip in the bud.
Yeah, I can't because he's red at the moment. Let's try and get him. Oh, he got me instead. There you go.
So still very challenging, it would seem.
Oh, yeah, certainly is. But the control method is absolutely spot on compared to with what everybody's used before.
Now, there's different types of weapons here, and you've introduced this new the new battle drone.
Correct. Yeah.
And there's new enemy types. Is there anything else, kind of ability-wise, that's changed?
In the actual, the ship remains classic. It was kind of a lot of discussion about whether it should change or not, but it remains classic. The biggest change is to how the actual product, how we changed the grid and some of the gameplay styles.
Now, you were talking about earlier that there's going to be a leaderboard, but there's also local multiplayer in here as well.
Correct, there is.
Can we get into that?
Yeah, of course we can, yeah. Let me just get in and out again.
Because this was obviously a game that it was
Would
always
you like
very,
a game?
I would love to give it a go.
Go on then, let's have a game.
It was always very, and I have to say now, I'm one of the people that does not play Geometry Wars at a very high level.
But you enjoy playing it,
I
though.
do like playing
Well,
it.
there you go then.
So that's good enough.
Well, perfect, yeah. So we're going to play co-op now.
All right, co-op. So this is two people
in
one go.
Yeah, in Retro Evolved World. So off we go. As you can see, Ryan is green and has instantly let off a bomb. I don't know. He must have been scared or something.
I'll get used to it. I'm getting the hang of it. I'm not a pro like you, sir.
But the Wii movement isn't a mad movement. As you can see, the actual movement
It's
very, very subtle and gives you...
It's very minor. I don't have to really be swinging the remote around a lot.
Correct. It's not Wii Golf or anything.
Not at all. Though it's very difficult. Now while we both have our hands full here, I'm
Yeah.
gonna hit you with a question that I
Go
got
for
from someone in the audience at home.
I'll try and
Martin
protect you.
Force wants to know, and I'm sure a lot of people want to know about. There is a download to DS option on the main menu.
You spotted that, did you?
I did, and apparently so did he. And people
that's
want to know
cool.
what's up with that. What does that mean?
Okay, well, I mean, the two products are considered a family of products, so we're trying hard to make sure that people that like to buy Nintendo stuff are happy in the full spectrum of stuff. So we have a DS product, obviously, but we also understand that people won't necessarily go and buy two both products, though we'd love them to do so, obviously. So if you own a DS, what that does is give you an option to download a fully playable standalone version of Retro Evolved. Which means you can, on the hoof, you can go and play Retro Evolved without owning the actual product.
So that's just a little taste of the other product that you guys are putting out.
Correct. Well, Retro Evolved's part of this package. It comes for free. You know, it's something the Bizarre Creations did with when they did Retro Evolved. There was Retro in there as well. So this product has Retro Evolved. Yeah, I'm on my own now.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm selfish, Raj.
Oh, well, it's all right.
And since I'm done, we're gonna have to wrap up the demo.
Okay, that's fine.
But,
thanks.
That's how I run things over here, Roger.
Cool.
So the game is Geometry Wars Galaxies.
Correct.
When's this coming out for the Wii?
It's out in fall. Fall for Wii and DS.
Fall for Wii and DS.
Correct.
Excellent, Roger.
Simultaneous.
Thank you for coming by and giving us the show.
No problem.
Rich, what's going on over there? What's up with you?
Up next, Ryan Davis, we have a look at an event that happened just down the street at the Metreon. It was a celebration of Final Fantasy. Our man Ricardo Torres and Tom Magrino were there. Check it out.
Hey, we are here at the PlayStation Store at the Metreon, and I'm standing here with Charlie Senesini from Square Enix. And tonight is a special night because it is the Final Fantasy celebration. So, Charlie, what is this?
Well, you know, this is our chance to get back to our fans. There are so many events that are launching with celebrities and developers and media in attendance, and we kind of just want to do this for our kids who buy our games. So this is our chance to say thank you. Thank you for supporting Final Fantasy, and thank you for supporting our company.
And so you guys have a pretty lengthy line here. How long have folks been here, and how many?
Well, we came out here at about 2 p.m., and we found these 3 kids at the front of the line were waiting here at 4 a.m. this morning. They want to be amongst the first to buy the game and to, of course, get the free swag.
Why'd you get here so early?
4 o'clock, well, 4:30, and we got here for this, and that's basically all you have to say.
And so, how long you guys been playing? When did you guys start playing? That kind of stuff.
7.
The Final Fantasy VIII demo.
So you guys played all of them by now, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Why do you like these games so much, and why has it been so popular for you?
That is so easy. The stories, the characters, the action, just everything about the game. It just feels like a novel, kind of a movie just acting out in front of you, and you have a part in it. It's just, I love the games more than anything else I play on the video games.
And so if diehard fans, how come nobody dressed up?
I don't have a good explanation for that.
All right, me and this kid right here, we were gonna dress up as Black Mage
and Fighter from the Final Fantasy 1, but we ran into complications with parents and not being able to get rides.
Okay, so this is just a sampling of the diehard fans. We're going to be trading off. I'm going to kick to Tom Magrino, who's further up the line, talking to some folks, and then we'll be back to see when they let everybody in and all the crazy stuff they're doing inside.
Hey, this is Tom Magrino further down the line, and with us here is
Chris Kranick, or Squall if you prefer.
Squall, yeah, I see you. You're one of the few who dressed up here today. So, how long have you been in line here?
It's been since about 4 o'clock.
Nice, nice. And what is your favorite Final Fantasy character you have up here?
It's actually not Squall. Squall's pretty funny because he's emo, but my favorite's probably Titus because he's even more funny.
Yeah, dude,
They said 2 minutes. 8 minutes ago.
Final Fantasy! Final Fantasy! Final Fantasy! Final Fantasy! Someone stole my ticket.
Here we go. Ready?
I need another.
So we're here inside now at the Final Fantasy 20th anniversary event, and with me is the MC of the show, Daniel McConnell. So you're putting the show on?
Yeah, Square Enix is basically giving back to the fans tonight, celebrating Final Fantasy, the series, and the fans themselves.
So that's what's going on here at the Final Fantasy celebration at the PlayStation Store. Final Fantasy fans will have a lot to look forward to throughout the rest of the year. You got FF2 shipping for PSP next month. You know Square's going to talk Final Fantasy at E3 in a couple weeks. And Tokyo Game Show is always a big show for Square. So keep your eyes on GameSpot because we'll have it all for you.
Thank you very much, Ricardo. I'm now joined by Craig Mitchell of THQ. Welcome to the show, Craig.
How are you? Good to be here.
Good. Good. We're good.
Well, I'm glad it's good.
It's good. Everything's good. The game is Stuntman Ignition that you brought with you. We played
did.
some single player on the show earlier. We're about to look at some multiplayer, but for people who maybe missed that episode, can you tell us what Stuntman Ignition is?
I can. Stuntman Ignition is the only video game that allows you to step into the role of a Hollywood stuntman, stunt driver actually. You get to perform in 6 different movies, ranging from a volcano disaster movie to San Francisco chase movie.
Nice.
There's over 36 vehicles you can drive. It's a high intensity, arcade driver. So
while the single player is all about like nailing your mark, like doing the right U-turn, crashing through the right building, what's the multiplayer about?
Multiplayer it's very much an extension of the single player, just in an entirely different realm. So what we wanted to do is take the same concepts, the stringing, the performing director stunts, and shift that over to a multiplayer setting. And the best way to do that was to take it to the Hollywood studio backlots. So this is sort of what the stuntmen do after hours, besides all that other stuff that they do. And essentially there's 3 different modes. What I'm going to be showing you here today is the backlot battle. And it's up to 8 players. You choose your car. You go around the backlot studios, which is cool because it shows you the backlots, but then you also go on to the actual movie sets. So you'll see some of the assets and the different things from the single player campaign.
Cool.
And what you're going to be doing is performing the director stunts, stringing together different things. So that's from doing jumps, from getting really close to different objects, to hold that stunt string together. Now the catch is in multiplayer is that you have 7 other guys competing against you. And if they slam into your car, they're going to steal your string. And the points go to their score. So it's really a gamble between, how long do I keep my string before giving it up so somebody else doesn't score my points.
Well, now that we've heard it described, I understand you have a fleet of my former fellow comrades, THQ testers.
Yes, we have the
waiting
QA
to play
team ready to rock.
8-player game. Let's fire it up.
Let's do it.
Grab your controller. Now you said there's 36 different vehicles. Is that what you said? 30,
I think it's about 36 vehicles. It's ranging from a lot of the different single player and the single player guys. So you have anything from a taxi to a clown car, futuristic looking cars, sports cars,
motorcycles, dirt bikes.
Those are primarily in single player. So
yeah, you wouldn't be
something
very fair
about the
car,
whole
car
car driving over the motorcycle and knocking them out. So
yeah.
We've
seen that. All right, so we're doing a backlot battle.
So this is backlot battle. So we'll go ahead and get this started here.
Great
names. So right away, you'll notice the variety of the cars that we have here. The complete and utter chaos.
Dune buggies versus Mustangs.
See, so I missed that stunt. I was supposed to jump off that ramp. Now I have a strike against me here, and you'll notice that just like in single player, I'm allowed 5 strikes.
Oh
man!
They know they're supposed to let you win, right?
Exactly. So if I get 5 strikes, then my entire score is reset.
Right.
And I'm pretty much screwed.
You get another strike because you missed that jump right there.
String stealer. So that's a good way to illustrate string stealer. I hit that guy on the side and now just took whatever points he had earned.
And that's that times 10 up there.
Shoot. Yeah, so that's my times 14. See, so I just threw a drift in there, stole his, somebody just stole mine.
So you just lost your times 15 bonus right there to somebody who hit you. This is just total chaotic carnage, more or less. And I can only imagine that. Nice.
Throw a little corkscrew in there.
Throw in some headsets, and this game is just becomes
it's made
utter
for
madness.
trash talking.
Yes.
I can tell you that.
Someone in the Cruella DeVille car there, off to kill 101 Dalmatians or something. Whoop. Not the forklift. He's just doing his job. That's a Teamster right there. That's a union guy. He is going to be upset that you guys rolled through like that.
So while I'm talking about this mode, there's actually 2 other online modes. There's Backlot Race, which is similar to this. Ow! All right. See, score reset.
Oh, okay. So it's not like you get kicked out of the game.
No, I get to keep going.
I thought you were done. I thought we were gonna have to watch other people play.
I'm in luck. Oh, man.
So there's just straight up races.
So there's the Backlot Race, which it used the same maps here, but it's more about just who gets to the end first.
Gotcha.
You know, you can still slam into other people. You have nitrous. You know, you have different ways of completing it. Cool thing about this too is with each lap that you go on, new shortcuts open up, and so you can pretty much take.
Not making it.
Damn. There's different paths you can take each time with each map. So you'll see a lot of variety in that. And then the other, well, I lost. We have one more to go.
You're here on camera though. You're the winner. That's all that matters. The other 7 guys, we have no idea what they're doing. Yeah, first place for you.
The other mode is called Movie Challenge. What it does, it takes the single player missions, and you go through that. And everybody is a ghost car. So you're going through this and you're seeing everybody else do their strategy and you're following their line, and whoever has, you know, the biggest score at the end is the winner. So
awesome.
It's
and obviously there's no probably better crew to watch play than the folks you're playing against right now, since they've probably played it once or twice and know which line to do.
Yeah. See, they know what they're doing.
You ready for some questions?
They're making me look dumb, so.
You get to go back there, that's fine. You ready for some questions from the audience?
Fire away.
Our first question is from Ross Busby in Paisley, Scotland. Are there classes of cars or differences between them?
There are. There's 3 classes of cars. So you have some of your lighter cars. You have like your muscle cars, so a little more power behind them. And then I believe you have the custom cars, which are, you know, the really weird stuff. So
like the Cruella de Vil.
Exactly. So you're going to run into some weird stuff like that. And then the cool thing also is once you choose your car, you can color customize it any way. So you'll notice this blue car that I'm driving right now. In the single player, it's a green car. So
much like Steve McQueen, I'm guessing. Little Bullet homage there. Maybe. Are you allowed to say which movies influenced the sets in this game, or?
All I can say is that the developer Paradigm are a big fan of movies, and you know, they definitely found inspirations in certain areas. And
do you have a favorite of the different movies, or do you have a favorite scene within one movie?
You know, so far my favorite has been it's called Whoopin' and Hollerin' 2, which any fans of the original will remember Whoopin' and Hollerin'. This is the only, you know, sequel movie in this game.
Awesome.
Sort of a backwoods, you know, backwoods racer, I guess you could say. You know, a lot of really fun, you know, fun movies, or, you know, fun levels. Allows you to really build up that string score. So
from its name, I'm getting a kind of Cannonball Run vibe, Smokey and the Bandit kind of thing. Long way to go, short time to get there.
Yeah, you have to check it out for yourself.
Okay. All right. Fine. Owen Chapman in England wants to know, what is the biggest or hardest stunt to pull in the game? Is it one of these massive jumps, or a flip?
You know, there are some. The corkscrew definitely takes some time to get used to, because you actually go off the jump, like, you know, I'm about to do right now. But you have to be able to flip your car all the way around and land it at the same time. So that can be a challenge. There's two-wheeling, which essentially requires you to hit a ramp at the exact right angle to do the two-wheeling and maneuver around whatever's in your way. There we go.
Got it. William Parwani in San Diego notices that your car's a little dinged up. He wants to know, what's the maximum damage a car can take, and will it explode?
The damage is all exterior, so, you know, no matter how much damage you take, you're still going to be able to finish the game, like I just did now.
Nice.
You know, we really want to go for that arcadey feel. You know, you're going to take a lot of damage. As you can see, I'm totally beat up at this point.
Yet you finish in 4th place.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that's my best score ever. So.
Yeah, nicely done.
Yeah.
We'll take a screenshot. We'll send it to you.
I appreciate it.
Cool. So the game is Stuntman Ignition.
Stuntman Ignition. It's going to be for Xbox 360, PS3, PS2. Shipping August 28th. We have a demo going live in July, so keep an eye out for that. And I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun with it.
Cool. And the multiplayer that we just saw, all platforms?
It's going to be 360 and PS3. But I also want to mention that it is offline as well, even on PS2, 4-player split screen. So,
cool.
You know, you
not enough split screen games these days.
No, there's not.
Yeah. You know who? Well, thank you, Craig, for coming by. I appreciate it. This game was great, and it's coming out
August 28th.
August 28th.
Cool.
Very soon. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Now let's toss it over to a man who totally disagrees with me about split screen gaming. Jeff Gerstmann. What's up, Jeff?
I paid for an internet connection. I should be able to use it.
That's how it works, right? That's how it's supposed to go. Anyway, we are over here on the other set where we're going to be talking about The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. I'm over here with the unsinkable Kevin Van Ord. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Great.
So this is The Legend of Zelda for the DS, and it is taking after in the same kind of style as Wind Waker, right?
Yes, it is. It's actually right after the events of Wind Waker.
Okay, so it picks up from that storyline.
Sure
Why don't we take a look at it? What can you tell us about it? I mean, obviously, touchscreen controls. What's up with that?
Yeah, almost everything in the game is touchscreen. So you're going to move Link around, you're going to attack. Everything is going to be touchscreen. In fact, I'm going to show you one of the bigger things that you can do if I can actually select this dude. Because
just cut him.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. So what you've got here, a lot of people, weren't big fans of all the sailing in Wind Waker. There is certainly a good amount of sailing here, but it's mostly hands-off. So we're going to jump in a boat and head out to an island.
Cool.
And hopefully out to a dungeon out there. So when you're moving out to your island, you're going to use the stylus to draw a line between your current location and your destination.
Okay.
So, and at this point, you're not going to do a whole lot but wait, although occasionally there might be things to jump over. You can make your ship hop up and down.
Sweet.
If you run into
it's like it's got
some trouble.
hydraulics.
Exactly.
Now, if you were to draw a big, crazy, curly-Q corkscrew path, would it take a different path from point A to point B?
It'll follow exactly what line you draw.
Okay.
And sometimes you'll actually want to do that if you want to hang out in the sea and jump over stuff that might be out there. But I like a more direct approach.
Cool. So now, what is going to be at this location here?
So we're going to jump off on one of the islands, and there's a town here. My Japanese isn't so great, so rather than talk to people and not know what's going on, we're just going to head right out to a dungeon here.
Cool.
So
now, how are you moving here? You're just holding the stylus on the screen?
Yeah, it works a lot like Animal Crossing DS does. So you're going to just hold the stylus in the direction you want to move.
Yeah.
You'll also notice a little fairy there. Her name is Shira, and she's going to be your companion, kind of like Navi from Ocarina of Time.
Now, will the fairy kind of lets you know what direction you're running in? It kind of acts like a stylus, kind of where you're touching.
Exactly.
Okay.
And occasionally she'll have things to add to.
All right.
And I'm just trying to get used to looking at the screen over there. So I'll show you a few attacks too.
Okay.
Obviously we've got some birds here. You can do a regular attack just by swiping the stylus in the direction.
Yeah.
Which is pretty simple. You can also do a circular attack if we can find something to attack, or if I can actually
now you just
get
draw
my
a circle on the screen to do that little swirl attack?
You sure do. You'll actually do your attack first and then draw your circle, and he'll go right around like that. We'll find something to actually go after. Somebody was watching me play and they asked me what happens if I attacked a chicken, and pretty much exactly what you'd expect from a Zelda game.
Outstanding.
So, in case you were wondering about chickens, now here's another thing that you can do. Using the stylus, you can just pick up a boulder and throw it right at your enemies there.
Nice. So now, how do you just attack the enemies? Do you have to walk up to them and then tap the screen, or what do you do here?
Yeah, as long as you're close, all you have to do is swipe the stylus in the direction of the enemy, and Link will attack him. You can also do a little roll at the end here, if I can manage to do it. That's a little bit more difficult.
Now you can also tap the enemies and he'll run up and
sure
smoke
can.
them too, right?
Sure can. Or you can just
Crazy.
scribble around and he'll do stuff.
Nice.
There we go. So if you get the stylus at the end of the screen and do a little scribble, he'll also...
Mike from New York City wants to know, are there any uses for the buttons, or is it entirely stylus-based?
Well, it's not entirely stylus-based, but the buttons are more like menus than anything. I'll show you one of my favorite little features here is if you hit the B button, you'll bring up the map down below, and you can actually annotate this map. So you can put little marks on here if you want to. If you want to mark where there's some particularly good loot to go back to, you can actually circle it there. Although not on this particular screen, we'll head to a place where we can do that.
All right. So how big do you feel the game is? What kind of sense of scope are you getting from this?
This is as big as any Zelda game as far as I can tell. I mean, I feel like I barely scratched the surface. You know, there's just a whole lot going on. You know, I've looked at some small dungeons, but I imagine that there's a whole lot of big stuff to go on.
Ian Farrell writes in and wants to know, is this game import friendly? It seems very Japanese.
You know,
heavy.
it's certainly very Japanese. There's a lot of puzzles here. In fact, we're looking at one of them, and there apparently are clues written on these. But I have no idea.
Just tap it till you win, dude.
Exactly.
That's just how it works.
I mean, as far as I can tell, what you're looking at here is you've got these. You've got to interact with these switches and pull them in a particular order. But since I can't read any of that, I have no idea.
You just got to puzzle it out, and
exactly.
while you're getting jacked by these dudes. Okay, so there's a swirl attack.
Yeah, there is a swirl attack here.
Okay, Ma writes in and says, are there the same islands as there are in Wind Waker, or is it an entirely new region?
This is an entirely new region as far as I can tell.
Okay.
The game begins with Tetra being kidnapped by ghost pirates. So it looks like we're in a new region because you're out exploring the seas, looking to plunder and pillage as good pirates
as always,
do.
Yeah,
exactly.
Cool. Jason asks, is this game hard? I mean, it definitely seems like the gameplay is much more focused on solving puzzles. I mean, if you can tap the screen to attack enemies and things like that, it's
exactly. Yeah, this is really early on, so it's hard to say. But it feels like the beginning of Wind Waker in terms of difficulty. So I imagine it'll ramp up. I don't think it's going to be terribly difficult.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to have some cool dungeons. One dungeon I looked at, you walk in and you're surrounded by poison. So I think some of the
like the
puzzles.
Band?
Exactly, the band. You're surrounded by them.
Dude.
So they're pretty tough enemies. Seriously, you walk through and you have to avoid it. You have to get into safe areas as quickly as you can. So that kind of stuff is challenging. The combat isn't going to be, I don't think, really any different than most Zelda games.
Joe from Wales writes in and says, wants to know, is there a lot of exploration in this game? You talk about the scope of the world, but have you found that you're going to a lot of different places, or is it all kind of centered on one central location so far?
No, there's definitely lots of exploration here. I mean, some of these dungeons are just really large. And that's just the dungeons alone. Each island has plenty of vendors and plenty of quest givers to check out. And then when you get to the actual map that shows you the islands and the sea, there are a lot of places to explore.
Cool. Paul from Glasgow, Scotland asks, can you play this game in 5-minute intervals with no problems? Is it like portable friendly?
Oh, absolutely. You can save anywhere you want. You can also attack chickens. So yeah, it's definitely portable friendly. I think the stylus controls really help that. You're not fumbling around too much. You're basically just drawing on the screen anywhere you want. We'll see if the map, there we go. So here's the map, and you can actually draw any notes that you want. So if you want to say there's some
so
good loot there,
you want to go there,
you can write it right on there.
Loot.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And you can erase it if you want, because of course that's really attractive to look at when you're looking at the screen. But you'll see that it's actually there on the top menu now after we move back.
Cool.
So yeah, definitely a Zelda game. The controls feel really good. So it doesn't feel as though it's lacking any depth because you don't use the buttons or the shoulder buttons at all.
Awesome. Well, all right, Kevin. Thanks a lot for bringing it by and showing it to us.
My pleasure.
The game is The Legend of Zelda: Phantom Hourglass, and it's out now in Japan. U.S. release date?
Q4 release. There's nothing
Naturally.
specific yet.
Yeah, of course. Let's throw it back over to Rich. Rich, what are you doing?
I'm just sitting here all nervous. I think the Celtics just traded for Ray Allen. Yeah, and I don't know how I feel about that. They already have a guy on their team named Allen Ray, so everyone's just going to get confused. But hey, in case you guys didn't notice, this trailer came out for this game. It looks really good, and you should just watch it right now again.
You're looking for some people.
We're all looking for that special someone. I need to know what happened. Give me that. For 10 years, I've been searching. I did this for you. I guarantee that you will find this man.
Please, no more killing.
Don't do anything stupid, cousin.
We have to find him.
Fine, you got it. You want my word? You got my word.
I'm the one who survived.
Get this done, and we'll talk.
So there it is, Grand Theft Auto 4. I'm now joined by the ever-changing, the chameleon-esque Jeff Gerstmann.
I blend into the
Jeff.
background when I have to, but sometimes I'm direct.
Just come right at you.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. Grand Theft Auto 4. What have
Yeah.
you seen? What are you excited about?
Well, I think this trailer is really good at showing, kind of more character interaction and some really wild actions. It's like, is that stuff going to be playable, or is that just all cutscene stuff? Who can say?
Dude hanging from a helicopter.
Yeah, it definitely looks exciting.
Creeping
interested
around the
to see
corner.
more.
Yeah.
They have released another trailer that all I can say is I would like to see more of that game.
Would you like to know more?
I would like to know more.
Nice. Well, right now, Grand Theft Auto 4, just watch it again and again. We'll be doing the same. But we got shooting of our own to do here, Jeff.
Yeah.
The game is Stranglehold on the Xbox 360.
John Woo presents Stranglehold.
Nice.
Yeah.
The successor to the 1992 action smash hit Hard Boiled.
Yes, Hard Boiled. Chow Yun-fat plays Inspector Tequila yet again, and he is back on the scene. He holds 2 pistols. He can dive, and when he does so, oftentimes the game goes into slow motion.
Awesome. Let's see it happen. Where are you?
All right, I am. This is what looks to be first of all. This is a marketplace level here, where we're kind of running around, and it's going to kind of show you some of the tutorial type stuff here as we go. Now I can stay on the ground here, and I can just dive around, and blast dudes, and
now
run up to this table and go woo.
Now, a John Woo action game, specifically with Chow Yun-fat, action movie with Chow Yun-fat, it means there's going to be a lot of guns fired, a lot of slow motion, a lot of diving.
Yes.
The difference between a video game and a movie, there's a ton of them, but the one I'm going to notice first is the camera. Do you handle it okay here? Does it do a good job of keeping up with all the action?
It's hard. I mean, the game's not finished yet, so we don't know how it's going to go. I would say if I was making this game, I would pull the camera out a little bit because it is kind of up close and personal. You can tell that they kind of want to show off their sweet Chow Yun-fat model.
And it
there.
is sweet.
It is pretty sweet.
That is Chow Yun-fat. There's no denying that is Chow Yun-fat.
So there's definitely that to consider. But this sequence here is going. Oh no, I'm sorry, I was wrong.
Okay.
There's a sequence I'm going to show you in a little bit. It is a standoff where you get surrounded by people and you have kind of a limited amount of time to take them out.
I'm guessing you can shoot the glowy thing up there if you want to.
Yeah. And that will, dude, and then sort of fall on me in the process.
That was awesome.
Yeah, this game is very big on kind of the environmental stuff. And also, it's very easy to control. I mean, to go over this table, I just walk up to it, and he just does his thing. And the game defaults to turning on what they call tequila time when you do a move like that or dive, and you happen to be pointing at an enemy at the same time.
Okay, and that's the slow motion?
Yes, that is the slow motion.
And it's tequila time?
Tequila time. Anytime's tequila time. Here's my cell phone. It says some stuff.
It's going to tell you your missions to do and everything?
Yeah. So now here I can slide down this, and because it's mad action, it drops automatically into tequila time. And while I'm rail sliding down here, I'm going to rack up some stylish kills.
Tequila.
And for racking up stylish kills, it actually fills my tequila bomb meter. Now, so I can dive onto this cart here, and then he'll go woo, and slide along, and then I can smoke these guys. And
this is awesome.
It's very cinematic.
Yeah, extremely cinematic.
And again, we can take cover, pop out, and blast that dude in the face.
What kind of guns have you run into?
Shotguns, submachine guns, assault rifles, things of that nature. I fought a guy that had a bazooka or some kind of rocket launcher of some kind. That was uncool.
Now you're running up a rail.
Now I'm running up a rail, which I don't know if I agree with. That's just wild. That's just too much.
That's Chow Yun-fat,
That's
man.
over the line.
That's what he can do. You've seen his movies.
Chow Yun-fat's a maniac.
He is an immortal. That you can only kill by cutting off his head with a sword.
Also true. Maybe that'll happen in this game. Let's hope not.
Chow Yun-fat, he's unstoppable.
Yes, very much so. So we're actually just earning the first tequila bomb power here. It's a very simple one. It's just a quick health boost that lets you use some of your energy to regain some health.
Now, I know this game has some great environmental damage. I saw some pigs hanging there. Can you shoot those up real quick and see how that's just gross.
Yeah, totally uncalled for.
That's disgusting.
Thanks, Rich. Thanks a lot.
That's just foul.
God,
way
to go, dude.
You can shoot up a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, you can.
Like watermelons, for example. Boom, there it is.
Gone, done.
Extremely cinematic experience. You've only just started playing this game. You think you can take some questions?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Let's see what we got.
I can't tell you much about the story though, because it's not really in this version so much. So.
Right. Obviously.
There's a kidnapping. That's I think.
Ian Farrell wants to know any auto aim or locking on.
The game will auto aim a little bit if you get close to a guy. It will kind of snap to your target. Doesn't feel like it's too much though. So you do have to do kind of most of the heavy lifting by yourself, and that's something that will explode if I shoot it. So I'm gonna shoot it.
Nice. Little blue flame there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Paul Corkindale from Glasgow says, when Fear was released, it was often referred to as the game John Woo would make if he made a shooter. Does this game, do you feel like it takes that title back?
Well, considering John Woo is helping to make this game, apparently this is the game that John Woo would make if John Woo were to make a shooter. Were there a lot of doves in Fear? I don't think so. Not that I've seen a ton of doves here, but, let's face it.
I think they're
gonna be there
they're
eventually.
doves in Assassin's Creed, though. Remember, if there's doves.
Jerks!
I know.
Swagger jackers!
Next question. Let's see. Christian Marsham in England wants to know, can you do any pistol whipping?
Yeah, if you get him close and personal, he'll whip him with a pistol. Though, it doesn't kill him.
No?
No,
Just
yeah.
stuns
The
him?
melee attacks just, they'll get back up. So, if I were Chow Yun Fat, I would never pistol whip anyone if I had the opportunity. Instead, I would just shoot them in the face. But Chow Yun Fat does things a little differently.
Is that actually an ammo counter in the lower right-hand corner of the screen? that I see there?
Exactly. There is ammo. But,
Shouldn't that be a sideways 8?
You would think so, and I can kind of steer the cart here, which is pretty funny. Let's switch weapons here to this shotgun.
Yes,
And,
let's. Doot. Oh, rated M for mature. All right, here's a good question. This one's from Daniel Green in Sweden. How would you compare this game, or does this game compare to Max Payne?
Dude, it practically is Max Payne. Yeah, it's very much like Max Payne. Very, very much like Max Payne, yes. It has its special attacks, and obviously it's going to be a very story-driven game. So, it'll definitely have a lot of that John Woo flavor there. But yes, you dive to the side, and then the game goes into slow motion. So, I don't think it's, I don't think it's saying too much to say that, yes, this game is pretty clearly inspired by Max Payne.
Nice. There's worse things to be inspired by.
Totally. Because where the hell's Max Payne 3?
Yeah.
Not coming anytime soon, apparently, so...
I don't know.
Sweet.
Maybe. We got Alan Wake, though.
Who?
Alan Wake, dude.
That game's never coming out.
Christian, also in Sweden. Obviously, you haven't gotten into the story too much. Can you tell how true to the movie the game is?
No, I cannot.
It's Chow Yun Fat.
It's Chow Yun Fat. They call him Inspector Tequila when they speak to him. That's really all of the vibe I'm getting out of it so far. So, but it's of course not the final game.
Right. And do you know anything about people asking about things like co-op multiplayer? Know anything about that?
I think it's going to have multiplayer. I don't really know for sure. This is a pretty limited demo version of the game that doesn't have the full game in it. So.
It looks awesome, and you were just blowing stuff
so
up.
Let me quit out really quick and show you.
Yeah.
The standoff, which is a pretty unique thing this game does, and is kind of a cool little thing that definitely is a John Woo flavor kind of moment. Now I gotta go to this weird menu.
Yeah, they won't show that weird menu. Don't worry about it. You just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Are you excited that the PlayStation 3 Special Edition comes with the movie Hard Boiled on Blu-ray?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is it going to be on the same disc, or is it like a two-disc set?
I'm pretty sure
That's pretty awesome.
I'm pretty sure it's the same disc.
That is pretty awesome.
That's the way to do a movie game.
Totally, make a sequel to
make a
movie
game,
and then
make it
put
a good
the original
game,
movie
and
on
then-
it
yes.
in like super high def format, not like some weird cutback version or something like that. I think that's totally cool.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so this is the standoff?
Yeah, this will be a standoff pretty soon here. This level is the slums, and it's raining.
They put the blue filter on. That's how you know it's a movie.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So we're going to run around here. There's not going to be anyone to shoot here for a couple of seconds, but you can definitely get a feel for the environments. They do seem rather large. And
There's some more railings you can run up or down. I don't know what kind of shoes dude has that you can do that with.
They can make those shoes that have the weird heels in there that you can...
Chow Yun Fat has calf muscles the size of cannonballs.
Yes, true. And the man knows no fear.
And you can only kill him by cutting off his head.
Yeah.
With a sword.
Oh, see, that's...
What's up?
This has gone horribly wrong.
All right, we're waiting for the standoff, Jeff, and all you're doing is showing us how to stand off a ledge.
Yeah. Well...
You like that? That was a pun. That was a little play on words.
That was good. I like that.
Thanks.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Artie in Boston wants to know, do you have to reload?
No.
All right. What happens when have you ever run out of bullets? Is that
you switch to your other weapon. You can hold 2 weapons at a time, so hopefully you have other ammo. I don't know what happens if you run out of all your ammo.
You can't run out of ammo.
That would be pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're picking up a gun from pretty much everyone you smoke, so it's you know.
Doot. Oh, can you show us that thing you can do?
Which what?
The zoom thing?
Oh, I don't think I have it.
Oh, okay. You don't have that yet.
One of the other powers is a precision shot. So here you go, surrounded.
Oh no!
Now I'm probably actually going to lose this because it's actually kind of hard. So it goes into kind of a slow motion here for these standoffs, and I'll lean to avoid bullets while shooting dudes.
Are you serious? What are you doing? Oh, look out!
Oh, yeah.
It does. Whatever. That was awesome. You made it that far.
Hot ones get caught. So yeah, you can lean back and forth and dodge bullets, and that's totally crazy and awesome.
That is awesome. I can't wait to see more of this game. Do you know when it's coming out? August.
Yeah.
Great. I'm sure we'll have more of it on it soon. Maybe
I would
learn
imagine
something
so.
Game of Stranglehold.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeff. You stay right here.
Okay.
We're going to toss it on over to Ryan Davis for our cleanup demo of the show. What you got, Ryan?
Last demo of the show, Rich. We have Folklore. We have Justin Calvert. This is the Japanese version for the PlayStation 3. Justin, I've heard this game described as like Pokemon, but crazy.
I hadn't described it as that, but sure, why not?
Okay, that's kind of what I've heard. I've heard like Pokemon, but like weird and dark.
It's definitely very weird and dark. Yeah.
So this is from Game Republic. This is the Genji folk.
Yeah.
This is their latest effort for the PlayStation 3, and already you're attacking some sort of garden of hobgoblins, and you're a dude wearing some sort of like Victorian suit, and you're throwing out giant roly bugs. So what the hell, Justin?
Okay, so basically there are 2 playable characters. This is a guy called Keats, who's a journalist for.
Of course,
I forget
he's a
the name-
wartime journalist.
I forget the name of the magazine, but it's something to do with like the paranormal and all that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the big thing with this is that all these abilities that I'm using are abilities that I've learned from monsters that I've defeated previously. So you can see at the top right-hand corner, I've got 4 kind of buttons there, and those are the 4 monsters that I've equipped. So this giant kind of dung beetle thing that I'm rolling out is the first boss that I beat. And then you can see when I stun enemies, like when they're just kind of on the verge of death, their souls come out, and if they're red, I can put this kind of a leash around them. And then I shake the controller.
You're shaking the 6-axis and you're
reel them in,
roping them in there. So this is all real-time combat. Is like what are the RPG elements to this game like?
It's difficult. I mean, there's definitely a lot of kind of leveling up and that kind of stuff, and you can level up the different monster abilities as you progress. There's a huge amount of kind of conversation between characters and everything, which is all in Japanese. So I don't really
know what's going
on. There's all I know is there are 2 characters and they're trying to solve murders.
So I'm noticing that the designs for all of these monsters that you're fighting are pretty crazy. Where is this game taking place?
This is taking place in the Netherworld.
Okay.
Which your guess is as good as mine. But to get there, you have to go through some crazy portal.
Okay.
So
your character is existing in the real world, and then you're going into this weird fantasy realm where there's these bizarre lion things. Now, you say you're playing as this guy as a journalist. There's another playable character?
Yeah, there's another playable character who's called Ellen, and she's a young girl, and I think what's going on is the first murder you're trying to solve is actually the murder of her mother, and she calls this guy for help, because I guess she thinks there's something weird going on with all this Netherworld business, and where was I going with that? And so every time you finish a level, you go back to their kind of home base, and then before you start the next level, you choose which character you're going to play as, and the story progresses slightly differently, apparently, depending on which character you play as, and their paths do cross, but
Interesting.
It definitely affects the story, like which characters you use for which sequences.
Now, you're equipping these attacks that you're learning from enemies. Is there any other sort of equipment that you need to worry about? Is there
No, as far as I
any
can
sort
tell,
of gear?
No, I mean, as far as I can tell, the only stuff is there are like 105 of these monsters, which are called folk. And,
Hence folklore.
It's folklore.
How very clever.
And you equip up to 4 of them. Actually, I think I can equip in the middle of a battle. Yeah. So I can change here. So maybe I want to equip that lion guy that I beat. So maybe I'll ditch this guy who actually just forms a shield around me that I haven't been using.
Yeah, hell with that.
I equipped the lion guy.
Yeah.
And so now I can use.
Let's see what that does.
His like little charging
It's got a
attack.
little charging attack. So what happens if you let those? That's actually a good question here from William Parwani in San Diego. What happens if you let their spirits, if you don't rope those in, do they go back into their bodies?
I think they go back. They sort of, you can only catch them when the spirits are red as well, and I think what happens is they go blue, and when they're blue, you can't actually latch onto them. I think that's right.
So do they?
No, I've never.
Let's let him go. Let's see what happens here.
Oh, there you go. He just came back and started.
So they just come back and start giving you more business here. So what is the? So you have this kind of main quest that you're going on. Is there anything in the way of side quests?
I wish I could tell you. I mean, in between these sequences where I'm battling against all the folk, there are. There's a lot of sequences where you're back in the real world and you're walking around just like this small village, which is known as like the Village of the Dead or something. And you can switch between day and night there by going to sleep. And during the daytime, the village all seems very kind of normal. But if you go there at night and you go into, say, the bar, then the barman looks like some weird Cousin It thing. And there's like all of the kind of patrons are all these weird monsters and anthropomorphic animals and stuff.
So there's a lot of different animals here in the world, in the netherworld. Is there any sort of like food chain system at work here? Have you ever seen one type of animal attacking another, or is it just?
No, I haven't seen anything like that. As far as I can tell, they all just hang around waiting for you to show up.
Now, obviously, it seems like kind of the big thing here to notice is that these attacks look pretty impressive.
Yeah, they're cool. And I mean, unfortunately, so far, like I'm only maybe 2 or 3 hours in, and because I've been playing as both characters, so neither of them are really leveled up a huge amount, and I only have like 5 monsters to choose from right now. But
as we saw from that select screen, there's a space for a lot of different monsters there.
There's like 105 total ones.
So if these are some of the early ones, we can expect to see much bigger, kind of grandiose looking attacks.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, these are almost like Final Fantasy kind of summons and stuff. Some of them.
Fantastic. So the game is Folklore. It's coming for the PlayStation 3. It's out in Japan now. When is this coming out stateside?
They haven't actually confirmed a date yet.
Okay.
I think we still have it listed as TBA.
So
I would guess it's
they're going to bring it here.
Oh yeah, they're definitely bringing it. Yeah, they showed it at an event in LA. I think Brian already has a good preview up, where he actually got to play like an early English language version of it or something. So.
Excellent. And we're going to have more on this on the site?
Yeah, we're going to post some stuff maybe tomorrow or maybe Monday. But
Excellent.
Once I've played it some more, for sure.
Fair enough. Well, I'll let you get back to it. Justin, thanks for coming by.
Thanks, Ryan.
Rich, let's take it home.
Sweet, we are taking it home. We were going to show the Grand Theft Auto 4 trailer one more time, but you guys have already seen it.
You know what that looks like.
It looks awesome.
He's talking on something that some people are thinking, like, is that an iPhone?
Are they really
People are
thinking
saying, like, it almost looks like one.
I didn't see
almost
that.
looks like one.
Well, if you want the thing to look for when you watch that trailer, when he says, "We are all looking for that special someone," when he's saying that, if you freeze it and look behind him, there's one of those fake ads for a Nano 360, and it's someone holding up a phone. It's just a little ad for the. It actually says ANO 360, but it's got to be the Nano 360.
Crazy.
Yeah, take that to mean what you will. This has been a great show. It's been a long show. I feel like we're already at E3.
Not yet.
Nice long demo.
Not yet. Getting there.
You ready for E3?
Dude, yeah, totally.
You're still crazy?
I mean, the review system launched. That was the first 6 months of the year for me. That's done. So anything you got, bring it.
You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd like to thank Jeff and Abe for coming by with All Pro Football 2K8. Ryan Davis, your man Roger, you guys look like you had some fun playing the Geometry Wars.
Yes, no, I want to thank Roger for giving us a sweet demo of that. That looked awesome.
Cool. And of course, Craig Mitchell from THQ playing Stuntman, Jeff and Kevin, Phantom Hourglass, Justin with the Folklore there, and I guess you again with the Stranglehold.
Stranglehold looks sick.
It does, looks good.
You hold 2 guns.
Yeah. My name is Rich Gallup. I'd like to thank you all for watching. We'll catch you next week right back here for more On the Spot.